In Screwed News, the full text of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or SHAFTA as I like to call it, was released early in November. There wasn't much coverage of the agreement before the text was released, but between Donald Trump's outrageous campaign and the fact that it's the middle of the holiday season, news about the agreement has completely fallen out of the public eye. But the agreement hasn't disappeared, and opponents are still fighting to get the message out that this deal would be a massive corporate handover that would ship more jobs overseas and also undermine our democracy and America's sovereignty. And according to some critics, the consequences of this agreement could go far beyond trade. It could fundamentally alter how Americans are able to express themselves under the First Amendment. According to Curtis Ellis, executive director of the American Jobs Alliance, a boycott of the Beverly Hills Hotel that happened last year would technically be illegal under the TPP. That's because the hotel is owned by the Sultan of Brunei, and the Sultan would be able to sue the United States in a special international court for damages caused by a boycott, according to provisions in the TPP, according to Curtis Ellis. Here now to discuss the latest with the Trans-Pacific Partnership and what this agreement would really mean for American values is Curtis Ellis himself, Communications Director for ObamaTrade.com and Executive Director of the American Jobs Alliance. Curtis, welcome back.
Nice to be here, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So where are we in this whole process right now?
Well, we are seeing, the more we see of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the less we like it. Now we can comb through the text, and we're seeing that it's really about outsourcing who gets to make the decisions that affect our day-to-day lives, that affect the future of this country. And we're outsourcing those decisions to unelected, unaccountable foreign bureaucrats. It's outrageous.
Yeah, I'm curious. You know, you're conservative and well connected in the conservative media community. When apparently the Koch brothers, presumably, decided that the Export-Import Bank was working to the benefit of foreign oil companies, but not to domestic ones like Koch Industries, suddenly every conservative in America knew all about the Export-Import Bank. When I would guess that a year ago nobody even had any idea what that meant. Are you finding in the conservative, you know, kind of biosphere, as it were, that your meme, your ObamaTrade.com, is picking up or catching on? Are the right-wing, you know, the conservative talk radio hosts, for example, starting to talk about Obama trade? Is it getting any traction on Fox?
Tom, you're not listening. Yes, they've been talking about it for months now. Drudge Report has been screaming headlines about it. In fact, Drudge Report linked to the story about how a boycott of the Beverly Hills Hotel would be illegal under Obama trade. That was on the front page of the Drudge Report. There's been a lot of coverage about this. People are up in arms. The grassroots are on fire over this, the conservative grassroots.
Because I'm hearing nothing from the Republicans in the presidential debates about it. Although that's probably because the questioners are not raising the issue. Is that
you got it?
Because the TV networks are all in the bag for the TPP?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. They want this thing to go through. That's part of the blackout. I too expected when there was a debate about business, economic interest, that this might come up, but no. Donald Trump's been talking about it. Ted Cruz has come out against it. Mike Huckabee. Carly Fiorina, Chris Christie has even said, but again, the corporate media is careful not to ask the question because they don't want to hear the answer.
Right. So tell us about your recent piece about Sharia law and the TPP. What's the connection here?
Okay, well, the Sultan of Brunei has imposed, he's this autocrat of the Islamic Sultanate of Brunei, and he's a weirdo perv that has supermodels fly into his palace, but we won't go into that. He's imposed Sharia law on his country, and we learned right before Christmas, they came out and told everybody, if you wear a Santa hat in public, you can go to prison. We don't want to tempt the Muslims by showing them the good news of Jesus Christ, even by so much as wearing an elf outfit or a Santa hat in public. We are now going to reward this kind of behavior by giving them most favored nation trading status. What's interesting is that last year, when we first learned about this, about the Sharia law, Jay Leno and a bunch of the Hollywood people decided to boycott the Beverly Hills Hotel, which is owned by the Sultan of Brunei. They don't like the idea of gays and
well, that was right after the Sultan had passed a law making death the penalty for being gay in Brunei, right?
That's right, exactly. And the human rights groups, the LGBT groups, and the feminist majority groups all came out against the Sultan and came out in favor of this boycott. Now, the city of Beverly Hills joined the boycott, and a bunch of convention business opted out. Under this TPP deal, under this Obama trade Trans-Pacific Partnership, they could be punished. They could be sued by the Sultan of Brunei for boycotting, because you see government entities and organized boycotts are an infringement on trade. They are a barrier to trade. They are denying the Sultan his rights.
Even when it's a domestic
his people
company?
all the rights, but
even when it's a domestic company? I mean, I know, in fact, I think I learned it from you. No, it was Alan Grayson who told me that 1/7 of all American assets are now foreign-owned as a result of our, $8 trillion trade deficit as a result of 30 years plus of insane trade policies.
Right.
But you're saying that the TPP could extend to properties and businesses owned in the United States simply because they have foreign ownership?
Oh, absolutely, yes. See, under Chapter 11, the investment chapter, all of these companies based in any TPP country are allowed to invest up to their eyeballs, and we're not allowed to do anything about it. And what's most troubling is that we see, for example, the Sultan of Brunei, he could buy the Beverly Hills Hotel. He can run it the way he wants. If the city of Beverly Hills say, well, we're not going to do business with this entity because the guy who owns it is really treating his people like dog dirt, he could then sue the city of Beverly Hills for, boycotting him. And that's not good. And it goes further. We saw this in 2006. There was the Dubai Ports World deal, where the Sultan of Oman, a Persian Gulf oil state, he wanted to buy the company that provides port security in the United States. And we said that could really endanger our national security to have some Islamic autocracy providing port security, and not so fast. And so what we did is we put language into the trade deals that say our national security trumps any trade provision in any trade deal. If we say national security, we can't be sued for denying an investment. Yeah. But that language does not exist in the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Oh, jeez. Amazing. Curtis Ellis, thanks a lot for dropping by tonight, Curtis. Good to see you again. And keep up the great work.
Thanks.